Hey everyone, welcome to our press conference. And we're really excited about the news. And before we get into it, thanks again to all of our investors and shareholders for believing in what we do here at PlantX. And today we probably have a lot of viewers who might not actually know what we do at PlantX. We really strive to be that one-stop shop for everything plant-based. So just like how Amazon is out there conquering the world with everything, our focus here at PlantX is really all about plant-based. So from meal deliveries to groceries, and bringing a community together that believes in something so great. And we're very welcoming. We want everybody to give plant-based living a try. Whether yesterday you didn't live a plant-based lifestyle and you're just curious about jumping in and seeing what it's all about, that's really what PlantX is all about. And we're so humbled to have Matthew Kenney, who I see as the godfather of vegan living, joining us. This partnership means so much to PlantX, to bring 30 plus years of wisdom and to see how aligned our thoughts are just after PlantX has celebrated its 1-year anniversary of e-commerce. Basically today, the website launched, and how far we've come. And for people like Matthew, who I believe are leaders in the whole plant-based vegan space, to recognize what PlantX has built out is touching. So Matthew, thank you so much. Welcome.
Thank you, Sean, and all of the team at PlantX. We're really at a very exciting point in the plant-based market. As Sean said, I've been doing this quite some time, but I always believed that the global food paradigm would shift toward a more plant-based lifestyle. And of course, we started with restaurants, that's what we're known for, but my vision was always to bring plant-based options to the mainstream, to educate, to provide consumer packaged goods and accessibility globally. And the platform that they have built at PlantX is perfectly aligned with our mission to do that. So we're super excited about the relationship. We love the team and the innovation and the speed with which they do everything pretty much, and have some great initiatives ahead, including our meal plans, which we're going to do together in Canada and the US and globally, as well as brick and mortar stores. We're hoping to open 100 plus stores in hopefully the next year or so, and develop a very substantial brick and mortar business as well that we think can really be pretty much on every continent. But we also will still continue to focus on innovation, which is what MKC, my company's always been about, really trying to find new methods, new techniques, and new formulas that can really bring plant-based to the mainstream always. So it's great. We're thrilled. Our whole team is excited, and we're going to do some great work together.
Yeah, I love it, Matthew. And I still remember, I think our first call was scheduled for about a 15-minute, seeing how we could align together. And then that call ended up over an hour. And then the next day we're jumping on another hour call. And here we are just a few weeks later, and how aligned we are with our mindset and everything is just so fantastic. And, instead of us starting from scratch all the time, someone like yourself who's opened up countless restaurants and businesses around the world. My background is e-commerce. Our team's background, our core is e-com. You tell me in the middle of the night, you want me to build you a site, I could do that. Brick and mortar is a whole different beast, it's something completely different. And with you joining, I believe it puts us way ahead of anyone else out there. And with the combination of our two teams, I agree that anything's possible. And like you said, you started in this industry many years ago. How have you seen it grow over the decades? And what do you think is going to come from this point forward?
Well, the market really did not exist anywhere near the level it does today. There are so many factors. I mean, the medical community is embracing plant-based lifestyle, and the media, of course, is following it very closely. Consumer growth is rapidly expanding, and the financial markets are also giving a lot of attention to plant-based. So we have all these components that have really made it. I don't always want to use that word, but fashionable. You know, it is fashion now. It's not a trend. It's not something that's going away. It's here to stay, and that's because of all the great products and all the great options that have become available. But the more it becomes available, the more it becomes a daily part of people's lives, and that's where I think a lot of the programs we're working on together are specifically focused on that. Of course, we love building restaurants and operating them, and it's great to have that in all the different communities. But a lot of consumers are not able to keep up with their desire to be plant-based because they don't have the convenience, and that's really what we're offering. I think accessibility through e-com and convenience through our retail. So I never considered in my early days of being a chef operating a convenience store or a grocery store, but being plant-based for 20 years myself, now I realize how important it is, because if I can't get these great products easily, then it's really hard to stay on a really balanced plant-based diet.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, the convenience, the education around it, because I'm sure you've encountered this so many times. People think like plant-based, okay, so you just eat some pasta and some bread, like there's a lot more to it, as obviously you're creating.
Well, I think one of the things where you and I are really aligned about is the goal of whole plant-based food. I mean, of course, I love desserts and I love treats and snacks and all of that, and especially plant-based cheeses, big passion of mine. But at the same time, I think we want to focus on products and methods that have a lot of purity to them, a lot of health components, and I think that's one thing that we were really aligned with, and I was very grateful for, because it's not always easy to make the healthier choices. Sometimes it's easier to not do that.
Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, Matthew, we're doing this live, obviously, so we'd love shareholders, investors, anyone curious about the story or have questions for you to go ahead and post them in whatever platform they're watching this in. We try to stream to a whole bunch of them. We want to make sure everybody understands the partnership. For us, we've been working so close that to us it just makes perfect sense. But some people who might be hearing this for the first time might have some questions. And also for Canadian investors and even people who aren't really into the vegan world might not understand your background and how big this news actually is. Like when I started looking into everything that you've accomplished, everything you've done, it's remarkable. And I know that the biggest companies in the world, forget about them being vegan or not, approached you on like the meal delivery side of things. And to do these different types of unique partnerships. And you've always kind of wanted to get into the whole meal delivery, especially in the US, how big of an opportunity it is. Just that one vertical could be a multi-$100 million vertical if done right. Here at PlantX, that's just one of many verticals. So I guess my question to you, and I don't know if I've even asked this before, why PlantX, right? Like why choose us when you could have went with, $1 billion companies who've asked you to go build out their meal delivery for them?
Well, I know PlantX is just a great fit. We like to, these days, the market is moving very quickly. We want to be well positioned to serve our guests and our clients and so forth. And, a lot of the much larger companies, things become a little too, things move a little too slow. And that's certainly not the case working with you, Sean. Everything moves fast, and that's how we like to do it too. We have a really ambitious team that's incredibly passionate about all the work we do. I mean, we're all in touch with each other, our core team, 7 days a week, day and night. And, we know this is the moment when the world is embracing plant-based, and we want to do our part however we can to make sure that what's available to them is the best possible. And we felt like, for sure, PlantX and the team was the right partner to do this quickly and do it well, and understand the technology aspect. But also the Canadian connection is really important to us, because it's always been the second largest market for us, for our students and guests in our restaurants. And so this is also a really great opportunity to expand into Canada, both with meal plans and also brick and mortar.
Awesome. And I could definitely see from your leadership the passion that everybody on your team has. And we see that at PlantX as well. And when it doesn't feel like a job and it's something you love, it doesn't matter if it's 60 hours or 70 hours a week, because it just becomes part of the lifestyle. And you said it best on our first call. I still remember you said, during the Monday through Friday, that's the heavy lifting, going after it, pushing things out the door and going. And then the weekends are creative, brainstorming. How do you get to the next level? And I love that thought process where the world kind of slows down. You feel the energy around you slow down on the weekends and holidays, but then it gives you the chance to really visit that creative side of things and go out there and create incredible partnerships like this. Sometimes people say, why brick and mortar? At the end of the day, Apple, Tesla, the leading technology companies in the world, they started with education centers. The Apple store is still geared as going in to educate yourself on something new. And that's where I think this whole brick and mortar side of things for same day delivery, which is not really available in Canada by the end of this year, with your guys' help, we're hoping to have same day delivery through every major city in Canada. The variety, absolutely everything. So, what are your thoughts on all that?
Well, I think I come from the opposite side, from a brick and mortar background, and at the same time, know that we need to rely on technology and e-commerce to reach a broader audience. But at the same, it's really important that we have that personal connection, and perhaps we communicate with a guest face to face one time or two times per month, but that connection allows us to build a bigger relationship where we can provide services and understand more about what they're looking for and what we can do to serve their needs within the plant-based space. So I think they're both important, like you said, with Tesla and Apple. Those touch points are critical to really becoming a global brand. So I think it's a perfect balance.
And then it was incredible, like how long you've been in the industry. And then we start speaking, and I think we're onto this brand new concept in our store in San Diego in Hillcrest, which you went to visit the other day, and it's coming along, and we can't wait to launch that here in the next couple of weeks. We're that close now. And then you're like, 2 years ago, we opened New Delhi in Venice, and it's the same concept you're speaking about. So it was really fun for us to see how someone like yourself recognized in your years that something like that's needed. And so quickly we were able to see it, but at least we're on the right path at PlantX. And I love that kind of verification along the way, and then bringing those brands together, I think is going to bring something absolutely amazing to the market.
There were a couple of factors that really motivated me with New Delhi. I guess it was almost 2.5 years ago when we opened. I travel a lot for work. So I'm in airports, I'm in convenience stores trying to get a juice or a kombucha and something healthy, and it's almost impossible many times. And so I really wanted to create a model for a brick and mortar store that had easy access to ready to eat, basically products that are nutritious and healthy. And at the same time, there's so many great products coming out in the market, and we'll be creating our own as well. But there are just so many products out there that I really felt like not having a place to showcase them would be a mistake. So those two things is really driven personally. I get really excited when I see a new product or a new brand that's not readily known yet, and so we're gonna have these stores in Canada, US, and Tel Aviv is opening soon, and of course I'm sure we'll look at all the other markets. So can't wait.
Matthew, thank you so much for your trust, for believing in PlantX. I know what we have planned together, and I know it's just the start. And again, this partnership really does mean the world to us. So, thanks again for trusting, believing. Hopefully our investors and shareholders see how unbelievable this partnership is. So thanks for waking up early. I know you're on the West Coast and joining us this morning, and look forward to working throughout the day and the future.
Yeah, you too. You and your team. We're really looking forward to it. We're going to do some great things together.
Awesome. And we can't wait to have you on our show next week, and we could jump into more of the details. Today it was just for the world to get a chance to meet you, and thanks again for joining.
Likewise. Have a great day. I'm sure we'll talk soon.
Sounds good. There you have it. Thank you very much to our investors, shareholders, anybody interested in the PlantX story for joining us this morning. We'll keep our heads down, keep working hard, bringing innovation to the space, bringing new products, and creating a resource for people to learn about the plant-based space, to feel welcome, to not feel judged, and to find all these new and amazing products. Till next time, stay curious, stay planted, stay healthy. Cheers.